it that we have seen last? Yes, Anjali ji. Yes, please.
Um, Arjuna asks Krishna to show his Vishwarupa, and Krishna grants him divine sight.
Yeah.
And he then reveals his cosmic form,
Ji.
which has multiple hands, multiple mouths, eyes, and limbs, devouring people from all sides. And it is both troublesome and wondrous to, fearful and wondrous to Arjuna. And and the form is adorned with divine ornaments and weapons. The form is radiant like 1,000 suns, infinite and all pervading. And he sees no end, no middle, and no beginning. And Arjuna's overwhelmed with both fear and wonder, and finally pleads with Krishna to be gracious and reveal his divine form and nature.
Yes, ji, absolutely, Anjali ji. So if you see, initially Arjuna was overwhelmed. He saw how graceful Brahma looks in that cosmic lotus, how beautiful all the other devatas, all of them originating from his Krishna, the beloved whom he thought his friend, thought of him as a friend, as a guide. But that Krishna is now revealing a form which was inconceivable to him. But slowly that form starts becoming too much for him to handle. He cannot tolerate the heat that is emanating from that form. He cannot tolerate the visions. They are actually almost grotesque or ugra. He's seeing all the heroes. They're all being sucked into like a vacuum cleaner pulls dust. Like that, all of them are being sucked into the fiery mouth of the Vishwarupa, getting ground and crushed, and between the teeth, he's seeing bleeding heads protruding. All of it is too crazy for Arjuna. Arjuna cannot tolerate it and he is afraid. He says, I did not know. Please forgive me. And he does a full Sashtang Namaskara. So we stopped here at the 31st shloka. He says, विज्ञातुम इच्छामि भवान्तमाद्यं नहि प्रजानामि तव pravrittim. I did not know this pravritti of yours. I did not even imagine this side of yours. I did not know. Please show me the other forms, is what he's asking. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनिकेषु योधाः. Krishna is speaking. It is now Krishna, the Vishwarupa, that utters these words. He says, I am time, harbinger of destruction of everything. I am the colossal destroyer of all that is living. Even without you, these warriors shall not live. To the ranks of the opposing forces, only death I shall give. Before we go into this shloka has a very interesting significance. It is well known among so many people that this was a shloka which was told by a scientist during a very cosmic, or we can say, one event which had a great significance on the world's history. Does anybody know about it? This shloka?
Was it Kalam who said?
No, not
Just a
Dr.
guess.
Kalam. No, no, not Dr. Kalam.
It was
That's not an Indian.
Oppenheimer, I think.
Yes, Vinetaji has said it is Oppenheimer quoted this shloka when he watched the mushroom cloud rise in that Manhattan project of the nuclear bomb. Only he had a mistake in translation. Kalosmi is I am time, but he says I have become death, and he got that experience. But if you see, this shloka is something very interesting. Krishna says, I am Kala. Ultimately, I am going to consume everything. I am the destroyer of all that is living. And then the next line is very interesting. He says, even without you, these warriors shall not live. To the ranks of the opposing forces, only death I shall give. What do we take from this? This particular line Krishna is talking about. Arjuna, even without you, those who oppose the truth, those who oppose the divine, shall experience the death. Yes, he is telling that even without you, Arjuna. What does this tell us? Anybody?
I think he's saying it's not that. I mean, then I'm going to move on to the highest stage because they're
Okay.
committing a
That
crime, so to speak.
okay. Okay. Yes, that is one thing. But
He's
now,
probably telling Arjuna, you don't need to feel guilty of killing your
okay.
Gurujan
Acha,
or
if it is the guilt you are harboring, he says, no, even if you were not there, that was what was going to happen. Okay. But my question is, okay, Pankaj, you want to add something, is it? Yes, sir.
I think he is telling Arjun that you are actually irrelevant.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. In the meaning, the divine does not depend on the human instrument. The divine does not depend on the human instrument. It is vice versa, isn't it? Man is dependent on God. God is not dependent on man. Arjuna should not think of himself as the most, what we can say, indispensable element in the entire Mahabharata. Another, if not Arjuna, he would have got it Arjuna or somebody else. Krishna can manifest his will through anybody. So God is not dependent on us. So we must remember our dependency on the divine. That we need the grace of the divine and not vice versa. That is a very important thing for Arjuna. So far, he thought he is going to make the ultimate difference if he withdraws from that battle. Many people do that, isn't it, in organizations because they are in positions of power. They think that, now if I withdraw, this organization will not work. Sometimes in anger, they say, I'm going for a leave. And when they come back, they think that the project will fall apart. But then they get the rudest shock. The project has actually proceeded much better in their absence. And then they get disappointed and don't understand. It is something like that. Ahankar should never come in, not in the seeker of the divine at all. And we must always remember the divine is always at a higher pedestal, and we, the seeker, we need to bow to the divine. It's not the dependency. If divine needs to manifest, divine can manifest divine will through anybody. Let us aspire to be that instrument, and that is one important point we can see here. He goes on further. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
is it that this is like a Dharma Yuddha
Yes,
and
sir.
Krishna is trying to tell that this Dharma Yuddha, I am on the side of Dharma. So whether you are
Yes.
there or not there,
Mm.
irrespective, the result is already decided.
Yes,
Only
yes,
you have to
yes,
choose to fight or not fight.
yes, 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 absolutely, sir. This is Satyameva Jayate, isn't it? Truth will win. Truth will always conquer. Uh, the way it does, that is sometimes difficult or we don't understand. So this is one thing Arjuna must recognize. Yes, Dinesh ji wants to add
So
something.
yes, yes, sir. Actually, if you are aware of like Sant Jnaneshwar,
Yes,
Muktai, Sopan,
yes, sir.
see, like Sant Namdev, you might have heard, he had the God's grace. I mean, he is the one who fed God Vithala, right?
Yes,
But he had that ego
Ankar.
in it.
Yes,
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 but my question is, he was so close to God, even that guy had ego. Same with
yeah.
Changdev, who like living for 1400 years.
Rangdev
He was
Pasashti is
Chang.
written
Yes, yes,
afterwards.
correct,
Yes,
correct. But I didn't get like, if God is so close, why that ego
that is
came?
Maya, no? Maya, we have seen about Maya, isn't it, sir? And Ahankar is a part of our Bhuloka. Meaning we are all every mana buddhi ahankar. Every human being has this constitution. That is why the Gita is there for us to reduce the ahankar, to prevent the ahankar from taking over. Because I think a very nice example Dinesh ji shared about a great, we can say a great saint, a great awakened seeker. Namdev Maharaj was very close. He was very close to the divine. But he felt, I alone am close to the divine. So, like Krishna gave Vishwarupa, he had to receive a darshana and realization. Because the truth is, when he realizes that, yes, he is close, but he alone is close, is the aberration. Because when it is like you give a beautiful set of colors to a child to paint, The artist is good, it is fine. But if the artist starts using black paint everywhere into the beautiful picture, what will the teacher do? We will have to teach the child to stop putting that, isn't it? It has its role. It has its role. Every color has its role. But too much of something, and that is where what happens. This exclusivity. Arjuna also felt the same thing, isn't it? I am the most exclusive. I am the best. Of course, he has done sadhana, he has done naman also, he has worshipped devas, he has done worshipped his guru also. Yet that comes in, so it is a reminder for us, sir, that ahankar will come in anytime. It comes in from the back door only. So we have to be alert. Yes, sir?
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Ji, sir. Carry on. Krishna tells him. And Arjuna is so lucky that it is Krishna who is telling Uttishta, Uttishta. We all try to listen to Uttishta Govinda in the morning and try to awaken the presence of the divine in our life. But here Krishna is asking him to get up, rise up, Uttishta. He says, Tasmat tvam Uttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham मयैवैते निहिताः पूर्वमेव nimittamatra bhava savyasachin. This is a very beautiful line of the Gita, especially this part. Nimittamatra bhava savyasachin. Arise, his Krishna says, arise to the opulence of the conqueror that beckons. Garner the glory that a victor reckons. Know that by me all are already slain. Become my instrument, Arjuna. Let your arrows rain. So Krishna is asking Arjuna to become what we say the nimitta, the instrument, the medium. He says, rise up. This victory awaits you, O champion. Rise up. Already all of them have been slain by my arrows only. He says, let your arrows go into and become the instrument, meaning you become. You are, it's like think of yourself as a bow and let my arrows fire from you. Now, the question of being a nimitta, how can we do that? Is it even possible?
So, Shruti, I didn't understand that word you just used.
Nimitta is like a medium, ji, a medium.
Karan.
Okay.
A
So
medium
he
for the
is
divine.
becoming a medium for Lord Krishna.
Krishna is asking Arjuna to become the medium. He says,
Yes.
become my instrument, let your arrows rain. Understand you are not killing anybody. If they are dying,
Yes.
they are going to be killed by me. You just
Yes.
rise. You rise to your duty, rise to become the champion, rise and experience the victory in this battle. But become my instrument, is what he's saying.
Because they
Yes.
are already
Okay.
killed by Krishna.
Yeah, yes, T. So my question is, I mean, how is this possible also to become a nimitta of the divine in our little life experiences or little moments? Yes,
Anything
sir.
and everything we do, if we think of Lord Krishna when we're doing it as an offering, then that's how one becomes an instrument. Mustn't put the ego in the way I did it. You're doing it as an offering, and
Yeah.
therefore you become a medium.
Okay. Many times, I think a lot of musical composers and all, they compose some certain things, and then people go in an interview. How did you compose it? And then they say, I didn't compose it. It just came to me.
Yeah.
And then is it because they want to hide their trademark technique of receiving or composing? What is the reason? I mean, can it be true that it just can inspiration just come from somewhere? Is it possible? Or that is how inspiration works,
Absolutely.
Yes,
isn't
it's
it?
That's how
possible.
it works.
Yes, absolutely. Gee, so they're not lying, it is their experience. It is the experience from where it comes. And that is an experience of nimitta only, isn't it? And they are being truthful.
Yes.
I didn't compose this, it just came to me. So this aspect of becoming the instrument is very important. There are different ways. It is like just, I think very nicely Shashiji only told us, offer to the divine your every action. Offer sincerely, and you don't have to worry. When you will become the nimitta, you will not even know that. Focus on the offering. Focus on not taking the credit. It is just the same. Yes, Anjali ji wants to add something. Yes, please.
Any good deed that we do without
Yes.
expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
Quite often we hear people saying, "Oh, you were God sent." Don't we often make the remark?
Maybe,
So
maybe it
that
is.
yes.
Maybe
So that's
God
being
is
an
sending
instrument.
us, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe God
So
is
isn't that
sending
being
us
an
in these
instrument?
moments.
Yeah. So isn't that being an instrument of God?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And it can be anywhere at any time
Yeah.
because the divine's work is always ongoing and in every kshetra, every place. You just have to be what we can say receptive. So it is important to be the instrument. And again, I think Shashiji told something important that we should not have the ego of the doer. Or and the moment we get some backing from somebody, we change our posture also, no? Immediately we feel, oh, or people go and sometimes, don't you know who is my dad? Don't you know who is behind me? This dialogue comes in. That will not work. That will not work on the divine path. If you want to progress, if you want to become the instrument of the divine, you must clearly, Naham Karta, Harihi Karta. और त्वदीयम वस्तु गोविंदम तुभ्यम एव समर्पयेत. A very nice way to every action you do. और जैसे ना तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लगे मेरा. A simple bhava if we are offering every action, we will not even realize when we will become the nimitta. Our aim should actually be on offering, not on anything else. Because in the earlier verse we saw, isn't it? God is not dependent on instruments. And God has many, many instruments available at his disposal. Like, imagine a surgeon having a knife and a surgeon is doing an operation. During that time, should the knife have its own mind and personality and separate existence from the surgeon? Should the knife suggest to the surgeon, don't do this, do this? The surgeon is moving right. He says, no, no, go left. What will the surgeon do? If he is seeing that its instrument is not bending to the will, the surgeon will discard that knife like a toothpick and will go in search of another instrument which is going to allow the surgeon to do his operation right. It is as simple as that. So our job should be on being the right instruments, receptive to the divine, and that is something Krishna is telling here. He says, "Become my instrument." Why not? Shashiji wants to ask something or share something.
Yes, please. I just wanted to say that what you said is right, that, the knife is in the surgeon's hand and he's in charge. But I just wanted to say something. Very recently, a surgeon from here in London, 4,000 miles away, I don't know where, he
Yeah,
did a surgery, a robot. He did it through the links, internet links and all that.
yeah, robotic
So
surgery.
in
Yeah.
modern day, the way
Yeah,
they talk about robots, it makes you wonder. It's wonderful to know you can sit here and do surgeries somewhere else because there's a robot there, a
yes,
robot here, and
yes.
there will always be a question mark because they do say, don't they? I mean, I read something where they say the robots, they've done some tests where the robot had actually said they feel things, and it's quite scary. They might be
And that is
man-made.
it is yet to reach sentience. The artificial
Absolutely,
intelligence is
but
not it. But coming back to the surgeries that you talked about, a very famous surgeon, I'm unable to remember his name. If anybody does, he actually is well-known cardiac surgeon, and he says this that every surgery before doing that, he offers it to the divine. He says, "I am not doing anything. Whatever happens now is in your hands."
I think it is Devi Prasad Shetty.
Yes, Dr.
Doctor.
Devi Prasad Shetty. Exactly. It was a very beautiful. Isn't that a principle of nimitta? And I think
wonderful.
yes, yes, yes. And he's a very highly successful one.
Yeah.
And he's not even ashamed of because his karma is like this. Nobody will question him. Ki, why are you trying to say anything religious? But this is the experience, and he has done his. He had, and one more participant had shared. She was a doctor. She had to operate on a patient. She actually offered to Krishna, because she could not do it anymore on her own. And she did not want that young boy to die. She just said, "This is not working." And she just prayed to Krishna. And she says, "I don't know how the operation went ahead, but it went. Even now, I don't believe I have done it. That day, even now, I don't understand what went through me. I was able to even, put the tube inside. And that insertion of the tube only was so difficult in that accident case that she didn't really think she could ever do it. And at that time, when she was struggling, not successful, when she was not able to do on her own, she just prayed and somehow she did. And she does not know how her hand moved on its own and it made it happen. This is a lived experience. So this is possible. Becoming nimitta is possible. It is very much necessary also. And it will be beautiful if we can become nimittas of something divine, isn't it? In our lives or in the lives of others, we'll be able to do something wonderful, isn't it? The best aspect is being connected with the divine to manifest a good change. Well, for that, it is important for us to be alert. We must be aware and we must surrender. Another nice mantra that comes to mind is Adi Shankaracharya's in Shiva Manas Puja. Yat yat karma karomi tat akhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. My every karma is in Aradhana to you, O Shambho. Means every karma can be offered. So right now Krishna is just telling this. He says, become the instrument. Let your arrows rain. Don't worry about the outcomes. Basically, the second adhyaya only. He's again telling the same principle.
Tomorrow.
Mam phaleshu kadachana. So Dronam cha Bhishmam cha Jayadratham cha Karnam tathanyanapi Yodha Viran Maya Hatansvam Jahima Vyathishta Yuddhasva Jetasi Rane Sapatnan. Krishna says, defeat all the warriors, Bhishma and Drona, and vanquish the heroes, Jayadratha and Karna. Fight without being troubled or in pain. Know that by my hands alone they have been slain. Krishna just says, ki, don't worry. You are doing a dharma yuddha, isn't it? You are standing for the divine. You are sincerely, if you do your work best, don't worry about what is going to happen. The consequences are all onto the divine only. He says, I have only slain them. What are you worried about? Mitra Droha, Kulakshaya, Guru Hatya. What are you worried about? Which papa are you worried about? He says, I am the one who is doing all of this. You just become the instrument. Arjuna, become my medium. I think there cannot be a better word, isn't it? A better assurance than this. Will Arjuna now be relieved? What do you think? Listening to this simple statement, simple assurance of Krishna.
Absolutely.
Yes, Dineshji?
Absolutely. He will be. Like,
He will be.
yeah,
Yeah.
Krishna is doer and
Huh?
Krishna is the doer only and Krishna is the receiver only. So,
Yes, nothing to worry, isn't it? Yes.
yes.
Okay. Anybody else would like to add?
I think it still need a little bit of assurance, but he will arrive at it.
Ultimately. Okay, so this much a promise
He
is
will.
not enough. No, this is example of human nature. When God has given the
Yes.
assurance, that is also not enough many times. Arjuna does
Yeah.
not. Well, yes, sir, Pankaj. Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, the point here is that Krishna is still playing the role of advisor.
Yes.
Actual doer is
हाँ.
Arjun. बाण तो उनको ही चलाना है, अर्जुन को.
Is he the actual doer or we are just talking about it is just the doing of the
No,
action?
I
that's
have to
fine.
interrupt.
So
Sorry for
if
this.
Krishna,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Pankaj, and then I'll come to Dinesh. One moment. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Pankaj.
Krishna is doer and Krishna is destroyer, Krishna is creator,
Okay.
everything
Yes.
on a very upper level. But
Yes.
when it comes down to day-to-day activities, somebody
Yeah.
has to do it. कोई
Yeah.
तो वो निमित्त बनेगा,
Can
कोई
Krishna
तो वो
not do
शस्त्र
it?
बनेगा.
Can means in that means
So somebody has to do it, right? Somebody has to be Nimit. So here Arjun is Nimit, and Arjun has to actually blow that arrow.
he has to fire that arrow. So
Without
Arjuna.
firing,
So Arjuna now this Arjuna who is firing the arrow is he separated from Krishna?
No.
I mean, physically, yes. There are two
Ah.
entities, right?
No, that is the Dvaita, isn't it? And the Dvaita is the result of Dvaita is the fear. Result of Dvaita is the Bheda, isn't it? Between the divine and the functioning of divine and functioning of man. Human
Yeah.
will and divine will. Because there is a difference. If he understands that, if Arjuna understands, yes, I have to do the actual execution, but it is the divine that is working through me. I will not worry if my arrow flies straight or if my arrow goes wrong. Also, it will not be mine because I will focus on the kriya, not on the outcome. But that disconnect with the divine at times is the reason that the instruments
Yeah.
fluctuate. That
That
is the
is true.
only problem. Yes, sir. So the ability to see the divine's work in the little mundane actions also, that is something which can allow us to have a great connection with the divine. But maybe at this moment, yes, Dinesh was saying something, and then Shashiji. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
No, all right. Shashiji was adding something.
Hello.
Yes, I just wanted to add that though
Hello.
Arjuna knows him on a personal level as a friend, plus he's seen his Vishwaroop and all that, he's still finding it a bit difficult to know that I'm the instrument, whatever I do, the
Okay.
onus is on Lord Krishna kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think, and I
It will
think
take
maybe
time.
he just needs to understand that the strength that will
Hmm.
come to him will be from Lord Krishna as well. So
Yes.
he's just an instrument,
Yes.
and
Yes.
everything else is coming from Lord
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, many times in Maharashtra, this very nice saying is there. It's actually the youngster just goes to the guru and says, "Put your hand on my back and tell me to fight. I'll fight. I need your
Yeah.
hand on my back." That assurance is enough. Like even Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, it was very beautiful actually. The Swarajya which was established, Maharashtra, he first went and he offered to his Guru, Samartha Ramdas Swami. He offered the entire kingdom. He says, "It is offered to you. I offer to you at your feet." And you know what the Guru said? He said, "Yes, I will take it." And
I
he
take
takes
it.
it. I take it, and now you function as my regent. You function as my regent. That is the bhava of surrender. Because if that is there, so now Krishna has very clearly told. But the problem is which Krishna is speaking? Is it the regular Krishna or is it Vishwarupa? It is the Vishwarupa. So the biggest question is that so many mouths, what echoes he must be hearing, we do not know. It just reminds me of a teacher in my school. He used to say, "Don't be afraid." But his voice was so menacing that every time he said, "Don't be afraid," that voice only would strike fear. So let us see how Krishna is going to receive responses from Arjuna after the assurance also that don't worry about the consequences. Hey, become my instrument. Let your arrows rain. Remember, I am the one who is bringing death to everybody. You are not. But now let us see. Sanjay Uvacha. एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सद् सद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य. Excuse me. Sanjay spoke. On listening to the voice of Krishna, with folded hands stood a trembling Arjuna. Bowing to the Lord in obeisance, he shuddered. Excuse me. Bowing to the Lord in obeisance, he shuddered, and in a faltering voice, "Arjuna, the following words he uttered." He's talking to the Vishwarupa, isn't it? It is extremely fearsome. No matter the Vishwarupa said, "Don't be afraid." It is something like it is actually when you are experiencing certain difficult moments, that time only you really know what goes on inside. When I was young, I did not even know that I had a call towards the divine. Father had asked me to go and check whether there is water on the top of the tank. And I had to climb a ladder. I happily went up the ladder and told there's no problem. Water is there. It's all right. We don't have to call anybody. He said, okay, come down. And I had to come down because it was ground floor, first floor. That ladder was quite tall. And then Ram Ram, Ram Ram started as on its own. The fear just took control. So something like that, Arjuna seeing this Vishwarupa, he is now, his voice is shaking, he's trembling, and he's somehow bringing himself the courage to speak to this Vishwarupa, who has actually told him not to worry. His voice is faltering. Yes, sir. Dr.
Yeah,
Nandakishore?
no, sir, you finish first, then I'll start.
Yes, I was just going to start the next shloka. Please tell me,
So
sir.
it's so far like, going through whatever we learned so far, Krishna tried to resolve the problem by doing shishtai and trying to negotiate. It did not work.
So,
Then he offered his all Sena versus himself, and they said he's not going to fight the war.
mm,
The lessons to the process is that, like, if you have a God with you and everybody's against you, still you will be winner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. If God is with you, you have nothing to worry. You have nothing to worry. People have that when their conviction is so strong, they can stand against the entire world also, even alone. No? That's why I think Rabindranath Tagore ji, as Gurudev has written, Ekla chalo re. Meaning
And
you
the
are
other,
going to. Yes, sir.
yeah. And the other thing is that, like, when Sanjay is describing everything to Dhritarashtra, whatever the conversation is going on, Dhritarashtra had still had opportunity to stop. Like, he could have interfered and
No,
stopped
no.
the destruction.
Attachments, sir. Attachments, they are so strong. It is like because of attachments, even words, no, they get modulated. We call this in psychology, they call it projection. People project. Somebody says yes, this person, he said yes for that case, but actually he meant no. That is the interpretation which comes. This is what happens. Anybody could have done this. Anybody could have understood, like as Dr. Nandakishore ji shared. But no, the time had to come for this only. All efforts of the divine, because the mortal side did not agree, no? The mortal, everybody in the mortal world, it's divine right to intervene and prevent this. It is something like that. Nature also, we don't, as humanity, we sometimes ignore nature. We start dirting the place. We start trashing everything and thinking nature is not going to have any problem or nature can tolerate everything. But then ultimately the consequences come back on us afterwards. So it is something like that. Krishna is now, Arjuna is replying. We don't remember Arjuna's voice was faltering. But look at this. What is he saying? He says, स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्ररुष्यत्यनुरुच्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्ध संघाः. Arjuna declared, of your name, O Krishna, it is thus rightly perceived, especially this name Rishikesha. He says, just saying this name spreads ananda. He says, that of your name, O Krishna, it is thus rightly perceived that by uttering it, a joyous bliss across the world is achieved, while the forces of evil in all directions flutter and flee. All awakened beings and sages adore thee with glee. Boss is himself so scared, and yet he's saying, when I say Rishikesha, it is going to spread Ananda everywhere. He is now trying to bring himself to it. He is trying to bring himself to speak and engage in dialogue. He says, no, you are like this, so Rishikesha. Rishikesha will only spread a ripple of Ananda everywhere. And all the evil forces will flee from you. He goes on further. He says, कस्माच्च तेन नमेरन् महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसतत्परं यत्. Oh, how can they worship? How can they not worship ye or offer their respects? Thou hast created the Creator and all his mortal subjects. O infinite Lord of gods, in whom the universe resides, over all that is and is not, thy insuperable lordship presides. So basically, he's just doing stuti. But we understand, isn't it? We know that Arjuna is himself very scared on the inside. Are his words matching his current state of mind? No, isn't it? We can understand this. Will not the divine understand it? But yet he continues. He continues. This is the nature of human nature. Let us see further. त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणस् त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप. But these are also very beautiful. I mean, these stuti, if you really actually recognize it and see, it is a beautiful. These are very poetic verses in adoration of the Vishwarupa. We can actually also look at them that way. Thou art the Purusha of the Puranas, the primeval Lord, the highest knowledge to the knower. Only thou dost accord the final abode for this world, the end of destinations. The universe is pervaded by thy infinite manifestations. So Arjuna continues his stuti of the Vishwarupa. Vayur Varuna Shashankaha Prajapatisvam Prapitamahascha Namo Namastestu Sahasrakritvaha Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. Death, moon, the ethereal waters, the wind and the fire deities. Thou art the creator of creators, the father of all living entities. Again and again, bowing in 1,000 repetitions, once more I bow, offering yet again my salutations. So Arjuna is continuously offering his namaste to the divine. He says, I offer my full salutations to you. You are the creator of creators. You are the Prapitamaha, the father of every father. You are the Pitamaha. You are death, your moon, all the devatas. You are that only is what he is saying. One more shloka, let us see Stuti, and then we'll just analyze Arjuna's Stuti at this moment. 40th shloka. Nama purastadat, Namaha purastad, Atah prushtastaste, Namostute sarvata eva sarva, Anantaveryam, iti vikramasvam sarvam samapnoshi, tatosi sarvaha. He's like, because he doesn't understand which side the Vishwarupa is, he's offering pranams in all directions so that no direction should be disrespected. He says, from the front and from the back, I offer my salutations to ye in all the quadrants and all the directions. Thou art in all and in every living thing, almighty and all pervading. Thou art everything. So he's offering his namaste to all in all directions to this divine. If you just see the last few shlokas, it began with Arjuna saying this in a shaking voice filled with fear. But the words, he's just telling, I bow to you, I bow to you. What do you think is the state of mind, or what do you make of this? What is Arjuna up to?
He's still coming down from what the Vishwarupa, he's still in that state.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
it's filtering in very slowly what he's seen, and he's
Yes.
understanding and he's
Okay.
absorbing it.
Okay. So he's coming down, is what Shashiji is saying. Okay. Pankaj, yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to say two things. First, he has seen that Vishwarupa, which is very scary.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to do some stuti and bring it down and calm it down.
In his mind, isn't it? In his mind,
हाँ
at least.
कि
Yeah.
शांत हो जाइए या मैं भी
Yes.
शांत हो जाऊं। एक ये चीज है।
Yeah.
दूसरी चीज है ये जो श्लोक आया है त्वमादिदेव पुरुष पुराण तमस्य
हाँ.
विश्वम परम निधानम।
हाँ.
तो ये जो श्लोक है एंड दिस श्लोका एक्चुअली नाउ आई रिकलेक्ट माय डैड यूज्ड टू रिसाइट दिस श्लोका
Okay.
ऑल द टाइम व्हेन आई वाज
Okay.
किड about
Okay,
40
sir.
45 years ago.
All right, sir.
ये मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा है कि ये गीता का श्लोक है. I didn't
Wow.
realize it's
Yes,
a
yes.
Gita.
Yes,
But
yes,
this
yes.
line I remember very clearly. Tvamadi Deva Purusha Purana.
Yes,
Matlab,
yes.
you are everything.
You are the Purusha, the Puranas. So that is why it is a very beautiful, these slokas. But Arjuna's right now, Bhava is slightly different. Vijumaji is saying something? Yes, please.
No, like Prahlada has done to Narasimha Murthy by praying to him. Like this,
Yeah.
Arjuna is also doing the same thing.
Prahlada
He's
Okay.
praising the God and,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
making
So
him,
it's praising. All right.
praising him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this could be the reason is what Vijumaji is saying. My one question is, when your friend is suddenly speaking very, 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 very nicely to you, what do you feel at that time?
Very happy.
You feel happy, that is true. But if your friend is praising you, you are the best. You are very, very good. Nobody on the earth is like you. You are the best friend in the history of friendship of mankind and XYZ. How will you feel or what will you think?
दाल में
This is
कुछ
Lord
काला है.
Krishna.
There is
Yes?
there is something
Sorry.
behind that.
Something?
Behind that.
Yes, some done something wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's trying to.
दाल में
Okay.
कुछ काला है.
Yes,
Your
Anjali.
friend may be wanting something, wanting
Yeah.
something
Okay.
from you, and that's
Might
why
be
itna
wanting
maska mara hai.
something.
Something
Might
behind.
something behind. Okay. Okay.
दाल
Yes.
में
Yeah,
कुछ काला है.
तारीफ करके आदमी से कुछ भी बेवकूफी कराई जा सकती है. हरिशंकर
हाँ.
परसाई. This is what we learned in school.
Okay. Okay. All right. But this will not work on the divine. So Anjali ji is saying something. Yes, please.
No, I said दाल में कुछ काला है.
Dal mein kuch kala hai. All right. Let us see. Let us see. Because I think this is one thing is if our best friend suddenly says you are the best to you, you know what you want, or something you made a mistake, you're trying to cover it
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Well, actually, Arjuna is suddenly having flashbacks of all the nonsense things he has done. And he is now, because of that, he is now suddenly in his mind, he is now having such thoughts, which is evident in the next shloka, the 41st shloka. Let us see. Again, I do not wish to any way reduce the sanctity or the importance of all these verses. We are just reading it in a flow. But when later on when we study, these are the best shlokas we can think of. Like as Pankajji just shared, his father would chant with such reverence. Tvam Adi Devaha Purusha Puranas. You are the one, and that is like if you study the Puranas, also you will identify the connection with the Bhagavad Gita, and you will say yes. Yes, this is the Deva of the Puranas and this is the Krishna that we know. But right now, in this context of Arjuna, we see here in the next shloka, he says, Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti, ajanata mahimanaha, tavedam, maya pramada pranayena vapi. That classic friends dialogue after making a mistake. He says, assuming thee to be my mortal friend, I spoke rudely, even though I did not intend of thy greatness. Oh Krishna, he doesn't stop. He says, Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti, oh Krishna, oh Yadava, oh beloved, out of love or ignorance, I was thoroughly deluded. So he says, I did mistakes all this time. There's a big history between Arjuna and Krishna. He says, I spoke rudely. I did not intend to do it, is what he's saying. He's telling this to the Vishwarupa. Indirectly, it's also reminding the Vishwarupa of all the wrong that he has done, isn't it? But this is the nature, and this is something very sweet also we can see where Arjuna is telling, I really did not intend. But we all know when a friend says that. I did this out of love. I personally know I have said this to one friend of mine because one friend was angry with me. I said, Hey, I was just playing that prank out of love. My friend also burst out laughing. I also burst out laughing when I was in school because that is just a prank. It is nothing out of love here. But here he is saying, I did not intend to be rude to you. Now, the next shloka, he is going to explain when he didn't intend to be rude. Let us see. Next shloka. Yes,
I
Rashiji?
I
Yes.
just wanted to add something. I think seeing that Lord Krishna came down to earth to be a mortal, he would have enjoyed this mortal
Yes, in a mortal
toing
frame, the
and
immortal
froing, the
dwelt.
praise,
Yes,
the praising, everything, because
yes,
then he would get to see it from a mortal side.
yes. There is this, they say there's a nice Marathi phrase, Ati Parichayat Avadnya, meaning when you are too familiar, no? You become too familiar, like, hi, this is like, this person is this only. So you dismiss the people you are very familiar with. You don't really understand their worth. It's something like that. Arjuna had probably taken for granted Krishna's company. Now he is recognizing from this Vishwarupa, remembering all the times. And he says, I did not mean to be rude. Next, he's giving an entire list of the times when he didn't mean to be rude. This is actually a very wrong thing. Imagine if Vishwarupa does get angry. If he does not want him to get angry, he should learn to keep differently. But let us see. Yach Yajjava hasartham asatkratosi vihara shayasana bhojaneshu ekotthavapi achyuta tat samaksham tat shamay tvam aham aprameyam. He says, I was wrong. Please forgive all the mistakes that I made. When? Well, let us see when. Whatever disrespect to thee I may have shown, out of jest or play, either amongst companions or alone. So he didn't spare him even when he was surrounded by people, whether he were alone or among people. Then he gives else while resting or eating. O Lord, I did not know, O faultless one, thy forgiveness upon me please show. So we can understand two things, the sweet nature of Krishna also, where he's allowing him to do everything all this time. And look at Arjuna also, he is now like a child innocently prostrating before Krishna and he's telling I did wrong. And when did I did wrong? He's in short telling I did wrong all the time only. Normally, you don't disturb someone when someone is resting or eating. But that time also, he has done this. He says, even while you were resting, even while you were eating, while we're just playing, either you were alone or whether with so many people. I think I have done a lot of mistakes. Please forgive me. I didn't really intend. I did not know your truth. He goes on further. This is a beautiful shloka. This is a very lovely shloka. पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् त्वत्समोऽस्ति अभ्यधिक कुतोऽन्यो लोकत्रयेऽपि अप्रतिमा प्रभाव अप्रतिमा प्रभाव. O divine teacher, the father of every single being, thou art the highest worship capable to the living. If in the three worlds equal to ye there is none, superior to ye, how can there exist anyone? He says there is in the three lokas there is nobody equal to you. How can there be someone greater than you? You are the father, you are the guru, you are the reverend guru for everyone. So this is something which Arjuna has understood truly, that yes, he is the divine teacher. He is and this is something when anybody loves Krishna and after recognizing his truth, this is the dialogue they get. The one who is lonely, for them he is the companion. For the one who is fatherless or motherless, he is the parent, he is the father, he is the mother, he is the friend, he is the guide. That experience comes. But when you ask them to compare and explain, if you are just asking them, how is Krishna? Description nobody is able to really give. Krishna is like Krishna is the best definition of Krishna. Nobody can exactly give. Like when there is no comparison, he is like this or he is like that, which will only reduce the status of the divine. And that is what he is saying here. He says, how can there anybody be? How can there be anybody in the world who is close to you? Nobody is comparable. How forget greater? There is no one closer to you also. He goes on further. तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायं प्रसादे त्वामहमीश मेढ्यम् पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम्. Hence to thee I perform a full body prostration, and to thee I offer my surrender and submission. Thou art the Father to the Son, the companion of a friend, the beloved to the lover. O Lord, thy mercy upon me extend. Arjuna is now completely grounded. He is now fully, he says, please, please extend your mercy upon me. You are the father, you are the mother, you are the companion, you are the beloved. He goes on. Adrushta rushitosmi društva bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupa prasida devesh jagan nivasa. It's as if all his energies have got drained just by looking at the Vishwarupa. He's feeling extremely overwhelmed and he is asking, like, powerless, and he's surrendering and saying, please, whatever was never seen before I now saw, but my mind trembles with both fear and awe. O refuge of the universe, shower thy compassionate grace, thy earlier peaceful form, let my vision embrace. He says, let me see the peaceful form. Enough, he says, enough, Krishna. It would have been good if he stopped here, but this is Arjuna. The next shloka, he tries, he does not leave the chance. We must learn this from Arjuna to make the most of every moment. The next shloka, we have to see how beautifully he says, Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrahastam Ichhami Tvam Drashtumaham Tathaiva Tenaiva Rupena Chaturbhujena Sahasrabhaho Bhava Vishwamurte. So in this also he lost his energies, and yet he's saying, I still want to see that form of yours, the Chaturbhuja Rupa, because he has heard about it. He's heard about the greatness, and he says, that is a very beautiful Saumya form. Please show that to me, Krishna. He says, I crave to see the form my mind understands. With thy crown, mace, and discus in hands, O thousand-armed universal form, do unveil the divine four-armed figure of thine, please reveal. He's asking, see, and I thought I will be seeing the Chaturbhuja Darshana. Please share that to me. So this is where Arjuna stops. My simple question is, will Krishna comply now? Yes? Absolutely, isn't it? Arjuna has now completely, he has really gone down, surrendered. He has put forth his flaws, he has appealed for forgiveness, and he's also asked for a grace. Please. And I think this is something when we bow to the divine, we should forget all that we have, but whatever our ego is there or our ideas, all that has to be forgotten. This whatever degrees, all of that, when you forget that time the divine will accept. Look at this Arjuna so beautifully. He requests Krishna, and this is a very beautiful case study of how to get a darshan from Krishna. We must follow it if we want. It is possible. Let's continue. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Maya prasannena tavarjanedam rupam param darshitamaatma yogat तेजोमयं विश्वमनन्तमाद्यं यन्मे त्वदन्येन न दृष्टपूर्वम्. O Arjuna, by my favor alone this form can you see, my luminous form from which the world came to be, my original self that mortal eyes before have not gazed, this infinite form, this infinite universal form that you have witnessed and praised. He says, it is by my grace that I am letting you see this. Otherwise, this is a very durlabha darshana. It is a very rare darshana. Not everybody can get to see this. He goes on clarifying further. Krishna says, Na veda yajñadhyanairna danairna cha Kriyabhirna tapobhirugraihi evam rupa shakya aham nraloke drashtum tvadanyena kuru pravira. It is not by researching the Vedas, not even by Veda Bhyasa, he says, not by researching the Vedas or by pouring sacrificial oblations, neither by charity nor by performing right actions, not even by the strictest of penances, is it possible for man to see my perfect form. To see my perfect form apart from you, no one has or can. He says, nobody else other than my grace only will let you, not by this research of all the Vedas also. Study the Vedas, yet you will not experience this, he says. Not by doing the greatest yajnas, not by the greatest of danas also, and not by the greatest of karma, not even by the most ugra tapasya, strictest of penance also. You are not going to without my grace. That is the importance of grace. Human effort must be coupled by grace, only then we can experience victory. Otherwise, victory is not possible. Grace is the factor which is required for a human effort to become divine. Otherwise, it will remain human, it will remain flawed. Krishna goes on. Now comes the important aspect. Mate vyatha macha vimuda bhave drashtva rupam ghoramid. He's talking about the ghora rupa. Drashtva rupam ghoramidran mamedam vyapeta bhihi pritama manaha punastvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. Clearly he says, seeing this tremendous form of mine, you should not fret. You don't have to be afraid looking at this form. He says, this ignorant state of panic, you must starkly reject. Cast away your fear as I show you the milder form of mine. Behold and rejoice, witnessing my other embodiment divine. This is very interesting. Krishna is just, he's saying this. He says, you don't have to have this fear. Fear is not necessary. It's because of ignorance inside of you. That ignorance is only causing, there's still ignorance inside of Arjuna. This also shows that even after darshana, ignorance can remain. That is the nature, that is the power of Maya of the world, that is the flaw of the human nature. We have to work on it. We have to be aware, we have to be alert at all times. He says, you don't need to be afraid right now. This is just ignorance that is making you afraid. Cast away your fear as I show you the milder form of mine. Behold and rejoice, witnessing my other embodiment divine. We'll just look at two more shlokas and then we will conclude so that the Vishwarupa part can be complete. And I think Kalpana ji had asked me to share the experience of a participant, Renuka ji. I'll just share her definition of what she saw, what experience she got in the group. Sanjay Uvacha Ityarjanam Vasudevasthatoktua Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyaha आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा. Sanjay said, after these words to Arjuna, the four-armed manifestation was assumed by Krishna. Then, resuming his peaceful form, full of love and grace, the Lord returned to console the fear-struck face. So Krishna complied. He gave the Chaturbhuja Darshana, which Arjuna wanted to see. And after that Darshana, he came back to that beautiful form of Krishna, the loving form. And then he came to console his Shishya, as if like, Garge, don't worry, I'm here. As if to console him. He came there. We'll look at the next shloka.
I
Anjali,
have
do you
a
want
doubt.
to? Yes, yes.
No, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
What I would like to know is what has Arjuna done to deserve this Was he the most ardent devotee, or how was he so deserving to see Krishna in all forms?
Wonderful question.
How
Yes.
easily Krishna complied to all
Yes,
his
yes.
requests.
So,
So
but it
what
is
did he do
very,
to
what
deserve
was
this?
it? We can see he had a very clear heart. Arjuna's heart was so clear that Krishna felt, yes, I will give that to you. He
I think
had
there was a partiality there. Krishna was a little partial to Arjuna.
no. The problem is not the lack of clarity of heart, which is there. Arjuna's, you see, Arjuna doesn't sound like a big champion warrior right now, isn't it? When we see Arjuna, we think like he's some young 20, 25-year-old young man going through a emotional crisis. We don't think that this is the one who has done such great yogic sadhanas. He has reached the height of heights in the fields of Dhanurvidya. He has reached so many other heights, achieved so many things, attained so many titles. But when speaking, do we see him? Do we see Arjuna as a some very like normally when person gets one award only his posture changes, isn't it? The collar goes a little bit up, and don't you know who you are talking to? I am this, I am that. All that happens, no? But look at Arjuna. Anybody would say is maybe some may say one person actually told in the class he could be in his late teens, maybe
But Arjuna
because
always thinks that he is the greatest in Dhanurvidya.
no, he's not. He has earned it, no, ji. He has earned it. Earned the titles, but he had humility. He had humility. But again, he is an example of human nature. He is not the perfect. If he is not the perfect individual, he has his flaws. So Krishna chose him as a representative so that we can all understand. So he was lucky, we can say, rather than partial. Imagine if Krishna chose Vyasa. What dialogue will have there? They will have an occult dialogue going on. They will say, you
We
have
will
to
not
understand this. You
understand.
reach that state of consciousness, then only you will understand.
Uh,
Yes,
No, I
Pankaj.
was just curious. I was just curious to know so that we could all aspire to be like Arjuna.
Yeah, yes. It is going to, when we look at the next chapter, no, Krishna is going to teach us that. After the darshana, very interestingly, you need to have bhakti for getting a darshana, isn't it? But after giving the darshana, Krishna is teaching how bhakti should be there. Bhakti yoga is after the darshana is over. Because many times people think, ha, darshan ho gaya, to I am now tismar. I have reached the highest state. No. After that, Krishna tells how to be. So we will see that in the next adhyaya, Anjali ji. The 12th adhyaya will cover that. Yes, Pankaj, yes, sir. You were sharing something,
yeah,
sir.
no, my question is answered. I mean, the
Okay.
critical component here is bhakti. That's
Yes,
what I think.
yes, yes,
Very
yes.
critical component here.
Yes. It is bhakti, and probably he has to learn and evolve his bhakti and surrender. Everything these have to. Bhakti has to grow. Surrender has to become complete. Arjuna has not reached it. But the simplest aspect we can see is one of the reasons many times Krishna told. He said, I'm telling you more, Arjuna, because your heart is enjoying what I'm saying. You are receiving with joy. You are experiencing it, so I am passing it on to you. So Arjuna's heart was clear. So that is why Krishna is saying, no, great intellect, great deeds, great all the actions, all the donations, all the difficult tapasyas. Maybe somebody stood upside down for several years. It's okay. He says, no, I'm giving this to you because you have. I think the Pankaji shared perfectly. Sir shared that it was the bhakti in Arjuna, which is very pure, and that
विद्यार्थी
cannot be
अच्छा हो तो
measured.
टीचर को भी पढ़ाने में मजा आता है.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yama has told that in Kathopanishad. Yama has said that in Kathopanishad. He enjoys, he says, it's a rare chance when I have somebody listening to me. So I will share
Yeah.
more. I'll give you more. That is what he says. And Arjuna, see no, how beautiful it is. Arjuna is scared. He's afraid. He's so afraid that his voice is shaking. But even in that, in the last minute, he tries, please, can I get Chaturbhuja Darshan also? Look at that. That is something which probably Krishna finds extremely sweet. Maybe we can probably understand that. There's no pretense. He is really true. And that is something which is important, probably. Yes. Arjuna Uvacha. Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samvrittaha Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. Seeing your forearmed form coming to the fore, an ecstatic delight overwhelms me once more. Oh, so soothing this peaceful form of yours I find. A silent sea of bliss now fills my mind. So suddenly now, this is a full roller coaster ride is over. Now his mind is shanta, like a beautiful calm sea. He says, your wish, your Chaturbhuja Rupa suddenly made my heart calm. All panic is now gone. I am feeling so beautiful watching it, and I'm again blissful and ecstatic. We'll stop here at the 51st shloka. The last four shlokas of Krishna are remaining from this adhyay. Interestingly, in this adhyay, Krishna also gives a very important aspect of how you can become an instrument of the divine. Earlier, he told, isn't it? Nimitta matra. Become the instrument of the divine. But now, in the last shloka of this adhyay, Krishna is going to tell how you can become the instrument, how you can become that. That is something we will look in the next session. So, with this, we are ready to conclude. If somebody has something to ask or share, you are welcome. Or we can just look at some of the points that we can take home and then conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Yes, please.
I think this very point that you just mentioned now, that verse 33, Nimitta Matram Bhava
Savyasachin.
I think that was the best takeaway. Aspiring to be the instrument of the divine manifestation.
Yes. It can be in any act. If I'm speaking, like I remember once I was very scared of a particular adhyay of the Gita when my first batch I was taking. I went to Damleji and I said, how am I going to teach this? And really, I thought the first reason I took the class also was because it was COVID times. My work in the factory was closed. There was no other work to do. And Guruji has told me to do it. So I thought I'll do it. And to my heart, I said, tomatoes and chappals will not come from the screen. So let me do one class and let us finish. But then as the batch was going on, it went all right. There was one particular chapter which was very difficult. And I don't think I took it so well also. After experience, I can say which is better. But that time I was like worried. I was like, how can I take this chapter? It is quite complicated. So Damliji said, just say this mantra in your head. Jivhe vara baisare Govinda. Oh Govinda, please come and you only take it. That was so beautiful. It was, at least it helped me lose the fear. No, I don't know if Govinda came or took the class or no, that's a different story. But at least the fear aspect vanished. If we do that aspiration, aspire for the divine to work through us, no matter what we do, we may be talking to a friend. It might be a mundane conversation, but sometimes brilliant things happen through in ordinary conversations. You might be even just say, making your own, if you're cooking, for example, you're making a most ordinary, regular dish also, but become the nimitta, you will not realize what Ma Annapurna's touch will come to that dish, you will not even know. Same way you're doing an artwork. One beautiful artwork was there, and the artwork was so beautiful that that artwork only called me and connected me to the artist, one Didi. What a beautiful artist I was blessed to connect with. She had done the art so well. It looked like every time I went, I just felt like doing namaskar to that artwork. It was a beautiful artwork of Krishna. And so, I mean, look at that, how the works speak. Wherever we go, we can actually try to become the nimitta matra. Because if we become that, I think our life can really, our life will also change. And more than our personal life changing, we are aspiring for betterment of the world. Lokasandra, we will be able to do it. We might be able to do infinitely more than what we are thinking we are capable of also with the divine's grace. So I think, yes, Sanjay ji has given an important point for us to consider. Let us try to become the instruments of the divine, because it's better to be instrument of divine than undivine, no? And
Yes.
forces of undivine hatred, anger, frustration. Why do we want to become instruments of such forces? So let us aspire for that. That is one thing. Yes. Any other point to take away? Yes, please. Anything else?
Lord Krishna is always very kind. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Even
he's
if he looks a
very
little
kind.
scary, he
Yes.
is sweet, like a pineapple, we can say. Sweet on the inside, even if outside it does look at times very intimidating. Okay.
You know, you can see in the conversations
Yeah.
that dialogue he's having with Arjun. I think Lord Krishna is naughty. He enjoys
Yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
poking
have
and
seen.
prodding. I get the
Yes,
feeling he enjoys it in a
yes,
nice way, but he
yes,
enjoys it.
yes, absolutely.
And
Even there was
and
just one moment, Majid, one moment. Just this, what Shashiji just shared reminded me of this beautiful, this is dialogue between Sri Aurobindo and Dr. Nirodharan in a book called Correspondence with Sri Aurobindo by Dr. Nirodharan. Nobody knew that Sri Aurobindo had a humorous side until this dialogues got released in that letters conversation. Even the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, who was a spiritual collaborator of Sri Aurobindo, she also came to know this because everybody knew across India, across the world, Sri Aurobindo as a non-smiling saint. And here he was having such dialogues which are even today considered, if somebody looks at it, the modernity, the freedom, even you see the freedom Krishna is giving Arjuna, it is like the same freedom which we would expect, isn't it? It is a dream to have a dialogue with somebody with this level of freedom that Krishna gives, no? It was so
I
beautiful.
think, sorry,
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah, no, that I was done, Jay. I was done. Yes,
No,
please.
I said Sri Aurobindo grew up in England, so I think he must have absorbed this dry sense of humor from
No,
this
no, no.
country.
No, not dry at all. It was not dry. It was just nobody knew that facet, and because Nirodharan was like Arjuna, he would ask, "When will I get sense? When will I get sense?" He was a doctor, but he would behave like a small child. He came at a very young age, at young 21, and Sri
Yes,
Aurobindo guided him like a father. And so
yeah.
that dialogue, but we learn this thing also is a beautiful. If we really enjoy such freedom in dialogues with elders, I think we should also give that freedom to others in our dialogues. The freedom that Krishna gives to Arjuna. Let us aspire for such brilliant dialogues because much can happen. Yes, Maji, you were sharing something. Yes,
yes,
please.
Krishna is making it very clear that God is not depending on us. We are
Yeah.
depending on the God.
Yes.
Yes. And he is the destroyer of all.
So we don't need to worry.
Arjuna, and he's telling Arjuna to go fearlessly to the war because they are already slain by me.
Yes, see,
And
absolutely.
yeah, you win the war.
Yes, surely. Yes, see. So I think with this we conclude. After the session, I'll just share Renukaji's beautiful experience which she had shared because our Vishwarupa is now complete. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashit dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tatsat. Krishnam Mande Jagat Guru. Punarmila.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari
Namaskar.
Hari
Good
Om.
night, everyone.
Hari
Good
Om.
night. Good night.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sushruti.